All right, just to address two of the most common comments I got regarding last Song Suggestion Friday's video. One, the show would probably be more successful if you didn't do such weird bands. You did more interesting bands like Slipknot. Yes, Slipknot is so fucking interesting. I have never heard a Slipknot song before. And you know what? You've never heard a Slipknot song before. I think the most productive use of all of our time is us sitting here listening to songs that we're already familiar with and just fucking stroking our tiny little fucking dicks to it. There's nothing better for personal development than just surrounding yourself with the familiar and constantly capturing yourself in an echo chamber of just how fucking great you are and all of the things that you like. And the real added value is when you get to hear my opinion upon those great things that you like. Second thing that I heard, why don't you just go back to the old format? I didn't change the format because I actually wanted to add the music into the show. Trust me, that's the last thing I wanted to do. I changed the format because I was dying inside making this damn show. It was seriously the one thing that I hated to do every single week. Yes, it is fun listening to new music. It is nice being able to have a reason to go and do that. But I'm sorry, having to do a fucking book report every week on 10 songs kind of sucks. Especially when sometimes you just want to listen to music for the sake of listening to it and not have to dissect it all the time. It went from, man, I just really like this, to I have to sit here and dissect because if I don't, people are going to not want to watch. I'm very much done with this part of my life. No, I'm not going to give you validation for the bands that you love or tell you why I don't like them. And 3, this show, the old format, never coming back. Ever. Which, by the way, that was a slight lie. I will be going to episode 100 and I will be doing something special. And I'll be honest, I don't give two fucks if you like it or not. All right, so the first track here is Why by Devin Townsend. This was not at all what I was expecting. Very beautiful thus far, pretty standard type of orchestration and stuff. But yeah, it's nice. And I like the sound effects he's adding and everything. So I haven't had a chance to actually sit down with Devin Townsend's new album yet. And I mean, granted, I've already listened to Genesis and listening to this one right now. I've heard nothing but great things. It's a very different thing vocally for Devin. I really like this melody here. I definitely am enjoying how he's articulating all of the lyrics here and how he's attacking it vocally. Again, nothing really crazy here musically yet. It's just, it's pretty standard fare for, I would say, stereotypical type of orchestration, but I think that's the whole point of it. See, like, I've never heard him sing in this type of style before, which is a more like music theater affected type of voice. And listening to him, it's almost like if, like this specific track, if his vocal had a baby with Michael Crawford, who is the original Broadway Phantom from Phantom of the Opera, which I think is a pretty awesome blend. Alright, I'm game. He has an awesome voice. That's fantastic. Of course, fantastic use of dynamic. And really good saturation of the sonic space there. Really enjoying that. I mean, obviously you have the orchestra filling everything in, but then you also have a couple of other instruments that are kind of laying in the background a little bit that are kind of filling in some other gaps that the orchestra isn't quite covering, especially with how verbed out and roomy orchestras naturally will be. Yeah, it was cool. I liked it. I don't have too many technical words to say about it to really sum it up. I can tell you that it has excellent dynamic It has, I would say, decent counterpoint. There's nothing really complicated or crazy here. It's all pretty standard fare, just executed really, really well. I would say the orchestration is very good for what it is. It is very, very good. And the thing that ultimately sells it is Devin Townsend singing, 100%. I had no idea the guy was really that, like, music theater oriented. Like, damn right, man. Well done. Well freaking done. All right, next up is One by Fate's Warning. Whatever that little noise is, it's kind of panning back and forth like a fake hi-hat or something. I kind of dig it. All right, so I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about the riff or not, but I will say, basically using it as a lead up to what looks like our first verse here, and especially how it drops out, and I think we have some piano here. Let me listen again. Nope, not piano, but there is some keyboard happening there and a couple of other percussion instruments. I actually think that's really cool. I actually really think that is quite cool. Digging the vocals thus far. So far, good melody. And then taking that power chord riff and making it a singular note lick. Good idea. Yeah, compositionally, I think I'm actually digging it quite a bit. And it does, the 1-6-7 thing, which I'm kind of partial to. But honestly, the one big downfall of this song, I think, is one, the drums could have been a little bit more tied to the guitars at this riff here. Either that, or I think honestly it's just their kick. Their kick is not mixed that great. I think the mix and the sound design all around could use a lot of work. And this is, by the way, not talking any shit on this drummer. I can tell this drummer is a very good drummer. They definitely should have gotten a better mix out of it, if not at least a better recording. And that guitar tone, it's either the tone itself or it's how it's mixed. If you could modernize it just a little bit, give it a little bit more of that. Hold on. See, I want to say that's a Marshall sound, but I could be wrong. Obviously Rectifier's a version. Oh no, Rectifier's a version of Vox, that's right. Yeah, I think you could get closer to that Mesa double rectifier, triple rectifier sound and modernize it a little bit. I think that would do a lot. That, and also kind of tighten everything up on that guitar tone. I think you could have done a lot of good for this. And also probably pull back a little bit of the verb on the vocals so it feels a little bit separated rather from everything else. But like compositionally, like I get exactly what they're going for, and I feel like it could have been communicated so much better with just better pre-production and a little bit better post-production. That bass mix is not good at all. I mean, granted, I'm one to talk, but yeah, that bass mix is not, is no. And I don't think it's the guy's tone, but it's definitely not working with where it's sitting right now. And that's the whole thing, I'm sitting here, I'm listening to this, I'm just like, this was released in 2000. They could have done better, and that's where guys like this get left in the dust, is, you have to, it's not that their sound didn't evolve, obviously it did to an extent, but you gotta keep up with the times if you expect to stay relevant. And, not that Fate's Warning was ever super relevant, but you know what I'm saying. The song has some really great moments in it thus far, man. It's just, I feel like there's a lot of missed opportunities here to properly convey to your audience, There's nothing artistically, from an integrity standpoint, that would have been lost by a little bit more polish and a little bit more thought. I also kind of feel like This whole thing here is a little bit of a missed opportunity. It's not saying a whole lot, but it's taking quite a bit of time. All right, then we're gonna end out on the chorus. That's all well and good. Oh yeah, by the way, Y gets a probably a plus sign from me. 1 here gets an equal sign. I pretty much said everything I need to say about it. All right, next we have Chrono Cross OST Times Scar. Now I have to play this off of YouTube, so I don't know how good or bad the quality really is compared to the original. Sounds pretty good coming through my headphones right now. I knew it. I knew it was gonna go from the minor 1 to the fucking 6. I knew it! And then to the fucking flat 2, of course. Thank you, Steve Vai. Tell me that's not for the love of God. Here, hold on, back it up a second. Da 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 da. Same fucking thing. Not really the same thing. You can't really copyright that, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I think the arrangement here of bass guitar, that specific sounding type of bass, which is like a very JRPG type of bass there, mixed with the, I'm assuming it's probably just acoustic. I don't think that's a classical guitar, but it sounds like it's definitely hand plucked, or maybe it's something different altogether. I'm not sure. And then with just the flute, I think it actually works really well. There's a lot of sonic depth here in its simplicity. Super appropriate use of verb. It's like lightly there, and everything is very crisp and clear up front, but it's still present. Oh, okay. Spoke too soon. All right, so definitely liked the rise in intention, the instant accelerando, and definitely the adding in of all these other instruments to kind of give it the effect of a crescendo, and then the doubling up here of the shamisen with the flute, awesome. Maybe that's a violin, that might not be a shamisen. Pretty basic stuff. Again, just like Why by Devin Townsend, really good orchestration, kind of tying us into something consistent and keeping the vibes going by having the basically down of whatever tribal big drum that is, and then an up on a tambourine hit, so kind of like a kick snare type of deal. And you know, on top of that, having the random hand percussion kind of give accents around so it's not completely flat and boring. They did a really good job of kind of spicing it up a little bit rhythmically when it could be very standard and boring. Really, really well done. Oh yeah, melodies throughout were fucking great. Very, very airy and glidey. Good use of conjunctive and disjunctive melody throughout. It's a good mix. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for. Congratulations by Senor PewDiePie.
T-Series! It's your big day! Incredible job! I know we had our differences, but today, I just want to tell you.
Hey, congratulations, it's a celebration. Party all day, I know you've been waiting. Congratulations, it's a celebration.
All right, obviously, I hate this type of music, but I will say, as far as an interpretation of this type of like party white boy rap type shit, it's pretty accurate.
I just wanna tell you that I think that you're amazing.
Hey, congratulations to your corporation. Guess you be one Swedish boy, you need a billion Asians. Very nice, and all it took was a massive corporate entity with every song in Bollywood.
Fucking right, PewDiePie. I don't know. I hesitate to say that I'm a fan of PewDiePie, but at the same time, I watch a lot of his videos. And I mean, I was definitely on the subscribe to PewDiePie train, although I wasn't trying to fucking make make all of the fucking gains off of the whole thing. I really did want PewDiePie to stay at the top, and I still do. Thank God he's back on top. But yeah, I mean, I've already seen this video before. He slams T-Series so fucking hard in this song.
Number one, hope you did nothing wrong, like starting your business by selling pirated songs. Oops, didn't think we'd see. It's right there on Wikipedia. Get used to your past being held against
You by the media. Oh, speak the fucking truth, dude. And like examples like that, like I was actually considering making a video of like all the reasons why T-Series is horrible, and doing that. That would have been my one way of trying to ride that train. But I'll be honest, I did some research and I couldn't find anything other than that, which I'd found on Wikipedia. And I tried doing some other research on them, but I couldn't find anything. Thank goodness PewDiePie did, because this song's fucking amazing. He grills them pretty hard in this song. And, going back to a musically critical standpoint, there are a number of raps in here that definitely are not very good and forced to be poetic because it works from a standard communication level a language communication level, as opposed to being musically masterful or pleasing. Which, I mean, it's a fucking joke diss track, which worked really fucking well for him, thank God. So, like, I'm not gonna hold him to the highest of critical standards. I mean, he's fucking PewDiePie, he's not a musician.
YouTube figured out that's sick, son. How about next you figure how to fix the caste system?
Fucking Boy in a Band. So I've known about Boy in a Band for a couple of years. I actually remember his rap "Don't Stay in School." That rap was kick-ass. This particular line he had in there, the "fix the caste system," is a little it didn't feel quite right. I don't think they gave that much of a fuck. They kind of had to put it out there as quickly as possible, and it's more about the memes and the jokes than it is about making a fucking great rap song, and I get that. Again, it's my job to point this shit out, so I'm going to. It's not because I'm saying, oh, he's a bad rapper. It's like, no, he can rap really fucking well. He can rap a lot better than me, that's for damn sure.
So this is it. Thanks for sticking with my channel. Ever since I was a nobody screaming at barrels. Yeah.
This whole part here, when I first saw it, it actually did give me chills, and it still kind of does give me chills, just because, like, I can't imagine what it's like being in his position, to be the #1 subscribed YouTuber for 5 years or some shit like that straight, and to build a fan base out of your fucking, like, when you're in college, basically being a useless piece of shit. He talked about the whole thing yesterday on a video, to basically your own little personal empire of sorts, and you have your own clothing line and people look up to you, and you're a businessman now based upon just being a fucking glorified jester, honestly. Like, to an extent, I'm actually really happy some of the shit happened to PewDiePie with the media, because by him making these really dumb mistakes and saying things that he shouldn't be fucking saying, or doing things that's like, you're pushing the line, dude, I think it really woke him up and helped him mature as a person, as well as a bunch of other things in his life too, I'm sure. Like, when I watched PewDiePie on his channel, I don't think like, oh, this guy thinks so highly of himself. And I'm sure he has an ego, and probably deservedly so, because, I mean, you're the most subscribed person on YouTube. You've earned a certain amount of that. But I think at the end of the day, he's just a normal fucking dude. And that's one of the reasons why he is #1. That is one of the reasons why I want him to stay at the top. It's not just about the fact that, oh, we love PewDiePie so much. It's about the fact that he is emblematic of what YouTube was before it got fucking corporatized. Anyway, I'm not going to finish this out. But anyway, I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you very much. Leave suggestions or not, I'll figure it out. I've been mostly doing patron suggestions anyway. Love you guys. Take it easy.